Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Review Anytech. So today we are talking about Apple and their customer service. It's not a purely technology based video, but if you guys have any Apple products, you often make the argument that we pay a lot for Apple Care in order to receive the service from Apple because it used to be, at least, an amazing service. But my experience in the past time, one last time that I wanted service was quite interesting. Let's jump into the story right away. So after installing macOS Sierra High, which I don't recommend you to do, my trackpad and keyboard stopped working. Now this was not like something that would happen constantly. They would just stop randomly, and I realized that it would happen when the computer would turn off, so the screen would go to sleep, not entire shutdown. And after a few moments it would come back on, and we assumed that it would be a software issue because would get fixed by just restarting the computer. And I mean, if it's a wire that is loose or any kind of wire disconnection, that wouldn't be fixed by just restarting your computer. I took it to Apple, and imagine I had exams, so it was literally 2 days between my two exams, and I take this to them, and this is not a cheap laptop. It was a $2,500 laptop at the time, Canadian dollars. We go there, and I ask the guy to see what's wrong, and they say it's a wire problem. So apparently there is a wire beneath the trackpad that connects the keyboard and trackpad to the motherboard, and somehow that is loose and therefore it wouldn't work. Now at that particular time I couldn't give them the laptop, so I ended up buying a mouse and an external keyboard because I had exams and I needed the content in the laptop. So using Bluetooth, I would make it work. They gave me a sticker so I can go in without a reservation to drop this in. And talking about reservations, when this happened, it started being really annoying. At that point, I looked up to reserve a spot at the Genius Bar at the Apple Store, and they would give me a space for literally 6 days away. Now, I'm not sure, how often you use your laptop, but 6 days without a keyboard and a trackpad would mean 6 days of not taking notes properly for me. So it's a big deal. And when this is the device that you rely on constantly and how much you pay for, it was kind of frustrating the way they treated it. And I went there. There is this service that you can wait, and if there is an opening, they will let you know. So I literally sat there for 3 hours to see that technician, who actually was walking toward me when he diagnosed that this laptop has a hardware issue. So he's like, "Hi, how are you doing?" And then I tell him the trackpad doesn't work, and he said, "Yeah, it's a cable. We need to fix it." By that time, he didn't even reach the laptop, and he already had his diagnosis, which I find very unprofessional to be the most conservative here. Um, then I give it in for service ultimately because it just wasn't working properly. And the guy said because of like this fact that I handed it in like not with an appointment and all that, it will take 2 to 3 days, but it was ready in one day, which was nice. But when I got it back, my trackpad had a broken piece. It was like right here. This is a glass, so it breaks. Now, whatever they did, they broke this top part, and it was a small crack, so I didn't see it while receiving the laptop. And I'm glad that I have Apple Care on this, but this is not something that Apple should be proud of because paid $270 for it. I'm glad that I had it because they wouldn't help me otherwise. So this was broken. I took it back, and their repairs have warranty. So even if you pay for a repair, you get 90 days if something goes wrong or anything. So this time I go in and I'm like, I need to see a technician right away. And somehow, when you treat them differently, they actually respect you. So, we see a technician, and the guy looks at the laptop and tells me, yes, they can fix it, and now that they are fixing it, they will also change my display because that had a few pieces like few pixels that weren't working. So I said, okay, do that. I get the laptop back, and I didn't have a problem afterwards, at least hardware wise. But ever since I did get it back, the color of my the actual body of the laptop is a little bit darker than the actual MacBook color. So I'm not sure if it's about it not being clean or something, because they don't clean the laptop when they give it to you. But I have tried to clean it up and see if the color changes, but no, it's just, it looks like a recycled version or refurbished body. It will be refurbished. I'm sure that it is refurbished, but what they claim is that they will put an actual MacBook body piece on here. But I think that this is a different version of aluminum. So just keep that in mind, that the color might be different if you make this change. And the reason the whole thing will change is that apparently, because this is a unibody design, if they can't just change this part, they have to change the whole thing. And yeah, that was pretty much it. A laptop that was 1 year old, that we always say MacBooks are very stable, nothing goes wrong, which I'm not saying nothing should go wrong, but this big of a problem, and it wasn't dealt with properly because it's just you shouldn't break a piece of something you repair, and it just was very inconvenient. Like for 2 straight weeks, I had to go back there to figure out different pieces of this laptop that had issues. And up to this day, after I did replace that screen, which was that guy's recommendation. Now the screen shows me weird colors every now and then. So if you do have a MacBook that has minor issues, I would suggest not fixing it under any conditions, because trust me, it will be worse. Yeah, that is the Genius Bar of 2017. Thanks for watching. If you want to see more of these videos, please give it a thumbs up. If you have any comments, suggestions, or any experience with Apple that you would like to share, please comment below. And see you next time. Peace.